Today, I want to talk about the essential tips for growing resilient plants. So, all plants or all organic life forms on our planet rely on cell division to grow. So whether that's me and my heart cells, my eye cells, my skin cells, etc., or our plants, our leaves, our stalks, our roots, everything, everything that's organic out there relies on cells to divide to grow. So if you want to grow a stalk, say of a sunflower plant that's 10 feet tall, you're going to need hundreds of millions of cells inside of that stalk to have it grow to that size. So the cell division and what controls cell division is one of the most important things that you need to understand. So cell division is literally controlled by the biology that gathers the material to make the cell and create it, and the biology that builds the cell, puts all those components together. So think of it like a construction crew at a building site building a new home. They have the delivery come in with all the lumber and materials to build that. And then they have the work crew come in, take those materials, put them together, and create a house. You can look at our plants and our own bodies, for that matter, as a house for the biology, a house for those cells, a house for that heart in my chest that has a specific job to do. Understanding that basic knowledge of cell division and that you need to create healthy cells to create a healthy, resilient plant, just like a healthy, resilient body. And we understand through all of our research and a lot of the scientists that we've had on our programs that function is controlled by the biology or the microbiology, if you want to term it that way. For personally, guys, because biology is everywhere and in everything, water, air, soil, etc., the biology I just use as a broad term, and it encompasses all of the biology that exists, in our and on our planet. So to have a resilient plant, you need resilient biology. So how do we create the resilient biology? Because that's what it really boils down to for creating a resilient plant. We need the components necessary not only for growing and creating that plant and the cells in that plant, but the biology itself. It's like if I put, a crew of 10 people out there to build a house, it's going to take them, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, a month, however long it's going to take, depending on how good your crew is, right? But if I put 1,000 or 10,000 people out there to build that same exact house, it's going to go up in hours, a day. All of a sudden it's going to be done. All those materials are going to be used up, and you're going to have this house. That's your cell. That house is your cell. And you want the best components in that house. You want, the best, of everything, the highest grade of lumber in there, the highest grade of wiring, and the highest, furnace and HVAC system. You want the best of the best. You want the best components. For our plants, those components are drawn out of our soil. What's in our soil? What's in your soil? We need sand, silt, clay, and organic material. We need it balanced. Just like we're supposed to eat a healthy, balanced diet. Well, how about our plants? Okay? You want to eat those plants. You want to consume, that lettuce or that corn. Okay? You want it healthy and vibrant, you know, resilient. You don't want bugs to be coming in and consuming your crop. By combining the four base materials, the sand, silt, clay, and organic material, you're creating what you need for the biology to have homes. Okay, just like you want a home, okay, they need a home as well. Mainly that's going to be on and consuming that sand, silt, clay, and organic material. The biggest thing that you need to understand is it is always faster, more economical, okay, to have more materials available that don't have to be decomposed like a grain of sand would have to be mined by the biology to get the calcium, to get the selenium, to get all the different components out of that grain of sand. You need a massive amount of biology to consume that, transport it to the biology that's building the cell for your plant. If you're using organic material, such as compost, it's partially pre-digested already. That is a wonderful thing because the smaller the components are broken down at the outset, the faster that material is used up by the biology building the cells to build your plant. The more cells can be built with the ease of having the materials there for you. The biology in our soil, in our what we want, a living soil, we want it full of biology. That's our workforce. The more we have in the soil itself, the more available materials are going to be there for your biology to build those cells and that stalk, to build that, kernel of corn that is so sweet when you eat it. Okay. You need the building blocks. Now, we talk a lot about foliar sprays to be able to give building blocks directly onto the leaf structure and stalk structure of our plant. Why do we do that? Because those materials are already at a very small size. They're a dissolved organic material, which is much easier to use. It's like, okay, I go out to the bush, I chop down a pine tree, I have to process all of that lumber, or I have to process that tree to make lumber. Where if I go and I just have it delivered and it's already cut and processed, it's a lot easier for me to use. I'm not expending the energy that is necessary to take that tree, break it all down into the lumber I'm using for my house or for myself. The more we can help Mother Nature to have these things broken down or pre-broken down, the better we're going to be. Now, guys, I haven't even opened the comment section, so I'm just going to quickly give it an open, say hi to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Silly Lily. Bigfoot, glad to see you're here. Does he get tired of talking? I do. That's why I always want guests on so I can talk, to somebody, guys. So Bigfoot, reach out, come on the show. Email me at it'sallaboutthebiology@gmail.com. It's always better for me not to just be a talking head sitting here, okay? And it is all about the biology, all about it. Hey, Ghetto Happy. That broad biology, yeah, the more you have, the more diverse your work crew, the better off it's going to be. Ken is doing the talking head very well. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, sand, silt, clay, organic material. You need to have those base components. Cake in the cup,